Going on, guys? Back at it again with another episode as we take a quick look at our last previous game, a 8-3 win against the Nationals. Love to see it. One earned run given up by Ross Stripling. He was having a heck of a season, pitching a 2.81. Definitely a great start to the episode. Like I said earlier, guys, what's going on? It's your boy Don't Win Ever back at it again with episode 18 of the franchise. Looking into some scouts, Darryl Strong definitely looks to be the number one prospect on our list. Unfortunately, we don't have the number one pick. We're big at number 5, so more than likely we won't even be able to get this guy. But it is definitely good to look at his stats, as he looks like he'll be elite in every category except hits, which you can pretty much live with if you're elite in everything else. He's still above average in that area, so definitely looking for some other guys. So we do look at Jonathan Valentine, a shortstop coming out of high school. He's a guy we look at just because of his talent, but not too crazy interested in, as we do have a pretty busy farm system in regards to shortstop. David Newell was a position of need. Looks like a high contact guy. Looks like a very good hitter with good speed. Even though we know somebody that's going to come down, because he's projected to be around a late second round pick. Definitely somebody that we can maybe possibly look up to pick up in the third rounds if he can slip, or just to see what his talent's like. So starting pitching first base and third base are still going to be our positions of need currently. We are going to switch to the second because that's also pretty close to second and third, as we definitely are looking for more youth in those areas. Checking how everybody's doing so far. Quan is everything we expected. And McRae is a sudden surprise, as we mentioned in previous episodes, still hitting 274. Mitch Haniger's hitting 244. And everybody else is pretty much struggling. Eloy is still hitting okay, even though he's cold right now. But it's pretty much as we expected, guys. We're trying to rejuvenate this hitting on this team. We knew the pitching after signing Urias would be pretty solid, but the hitting has got to improve. Needs somebody to step up and kind of turn this season around. I mean, we're teetering right at 500. Definitely want to be above that if we're looking to be in the wild card playoff race. I think we had the team to do at least make the playoffs, but it really depends on, like I said earlier, some guys catching fire. They really got to catch fire. Looking into our minor league system, we do have Donovan Walton hitting outstanding. Only problem is he does have deep potential. Doesn't really look like a guy who we can really call up, so I guess he'll be our minor league MVP. We do like to see those, though, as they do help other prospects that we want to get up. Speaking of those, Mark Duvall, our first round pick from last year, looks to be having a pretty good season in AA. 287, 367 on base. We didn't really expect the pop, so 2 home runs is actually a surprise for real, with 23 power and 37 power. But we definitely love to see it. Pa's still struggling on the year. Power numbers aren't too bad, but definitely need more from him. Toribio's having an outstanding year. Definitely hoping he can progress a little more as his age is creeping up on him. But we don't have to use a 40-man on him for hopefully a couple years, so we can keep him in the farm system and see how far he can get in a few years. The rest of the guys are just some deep potential guys to fill out the farm system. They're doing pretty solid on the season. Bobby Rhodes, another lefty smasher, doing pretty well. From 59, definitely holding his rating. As we take a look into the rest of the roster, we make some moves up, as we do see some holes with some guys getting injured. So definitely having to fill those spots. So we do call a couple guys up just to fill out some positional needs due to some injuries. But that been pretty much what I expected, being pretty much GM in this situation, and pretty much what I expect so far in the season for our team. Struggling hitting, pitching's pretty solid. Not too bad of a year. I actually thought we might be a little bit worse probably be like right out of the playoff picture. So being right in the thick of it is definitely a welcoming sight. As we do take a look at the AAA team, Welker's having a pretty solid season, especially for his potential. Lamont showing a little pop. He's just a replacement in guy. Same when he's injured, we definitely pull him into the bigs, get him a couple seasons as he is already up there in age. Ortega's hitting pretty bad with a 184. I mean, that's rough. Definitely got some years to play, only being 21. But not a good way to start off your AAA. I think he's only got that high rating because of his fielding, so we might look to put him down to AA. But for now, we'll leave him there and see if we can get his hitting back on track. I mean, he's pretty much right at below average for all his hitting stats. So hopefully have some years in the farm system with our coaches can help him get a little better. Curtis Mead is another guy struggling with at least one of them hitting 250, maybe 310, 320 on base, but he's below 300 on base. That's not going to cut it. Hassan Diaz is doing pretty well, but he's also another aging guy. Beat potential, so we know he'll still improve, but we're looking to definitely get some more youth. We can't be waiting on a 27-year-old at 64. Patrick Bailey's doing okay. Right now, his defense is his best attribute, so we're not expecting too much for his hitting for another couple of years. Especially with 39 contact, boy. Take a look at that pitching. As I said, that 1-2 punch is doing very well. Under 3 ERA for Urias, 3.36 for Webb. Trevor Rogers is pitching better on a hot streak, and Ross Stripling is a very lovely surprise, pitching a 2.81 or 2.82 now. Definitely look for great things from him. Ross is improving in some areas. Harrison is struggling upon the season, but you kind of expect that. We're hoping that hitting can kind of help him out with some of that. Bummer is also doing very bad on the season. Paid him. Castro paid him. We just cannot figure out this bullpen relief pitching situation. But we do know who our closer is, and that is my man Duval. Having a fantastic season. Love to see it. Blanchard is doing well after he bounced back from a couple of bad outings. 4.9 still pretty low, but he'll get there as long as Lever gets some good practice in. Migel's doing really well. Crawford's doing very well too. If only we can get our major league pitching to pitch like our AA roster, we'd have a pretty good chance, you know. Mason Black's also having a surprisingly good year. So unfortunately, we just have some guys who don't have high potentials doing very well, other than a couple of our draft picks. And a couple guys we picked up in trades and things like that. But a lot of our prospects, other than Bednar, who is pitching a fantastic 2.93 as well. Other than those guys, we're kind of struggling with some of our prospects, needing to develop a little bit better. Wizard has another example of a good one. Lefty with deep potential that's pitching a 1. I think he's probably going to make the All-Star team this year. Definitely somebody that we might think about calling up for those September call-ups when it gets around that time. Land is also having a good year. Eric Silva's bouncing back. Was struggling a little while ago. And Carson Seymour is still having a pretty bad year. But we really don't have nobody to replace him at the moment, so currently we'll leave him there. Some of our lead pitchers also having some pretty good years, as it really is just the majors. The only unfortunate thing is we're really waiting on some of these guys to develop, like Jose Cruz, like Randy Rodriguez. And we don't want to rush them there, especially when that bad walks, because everybody knows if you got high whip in MLB, you bound to give up a lot of runs. It's almost like the best rating for a pitcher, and both of theirs are really low, so definitely want them to be a little better in clutch time. Let them develop a little more. getting back into the swing of things. You see how we finish off this National Series. As we do have Carlos Sandoval coming back, and we do lose 4-11. We do win the series overall 2-1. Minor leagues do win. As we decide to make a change, after thinking about it, I think it'd be much better if DeScalafani just played as a spot starter, got a few outings for Harrison as he's cold, and let Harrison pitch the long relief after that bad outing. Definitely didn't want to see that. Instead of starting on the season, get 2 wins back to back. Love to see it. That's what we would expect from our aces. As we take another look, 13 hits on the game. Looks like we won in the top of the 10th. 3 hits from Henniger. Home run. Henniger, Chapman, and Bart. And Webb had an okay game. Trevor Rogers coming in. And we are expecting Matos to come back and hopefully have a good rest of his AA season. DeScalafani does have his first start coming up against Cleveland after the victory. The guy who was hot in our AA team, Donovan Walton, does go out. Hate to see it, but it's alright. We'll have him bounce back, hopefully, by the end of the season. We do lose 2-7 in DeScalafani's start, but it's alright. I still feel like he'll have better outings as of now than Harrison. Just let him relieve for a little bit. Do get another victory, 2-1, 5-4. As that's why we have those guys locked up. You can guarantee every 5 games we're getting 2 victories out of those almost every time. Because we're getting some good pitching out of it. We just got good hits. But here is not an example as we do lose 6-0. Trevor Rogers gives up 4 error runs in 4 innings. Harrison does have solid relief, 3 innings, no earned runs. But we do get shut out, losing to a pretty solid team in the Mets. And we still cannot get over that hump of getting past 500. I don't know what's going on with the team. We do win another close one though, 7-6. Looks like just some clutch hitting from Estrada. 3 hits, 3 RBIs. 2 hits, 2 RBI for Luciano, hitting in the back end. Eric McQuan's surprising. And Strickland also. Don't expect him to have too many 5 earned run games, especially in only 4 1/3. Harrison also had another good relief. I think that's just his role for now. It's a good spot for him. Another inning and 2/3, giving up no runs. Mendez was another guy who pitched pretty decent. DeScalafani does get his, well, really his 3rd start. And here we go. Gets to win 11-1. That's what I'm talking about, Scalafani. That's what I'm talking about. Heck of a pitching game, only giving up 1 earned run. Pitching 7 innings in that. Only had 3 strikeouts, but hey. And getting 4 hits, that's what we like to see. The veteran coming in, showing the youngster how you get it done. As we are able to get back to 500, hoping to keep it that way. 2-1 does get us 1 game above with Urias pitching. They're having fantastic seasons. And now Webb is up next. That 1-2 combo. And we do get the win, 7-0. That's what I'm talking about. 1 earned run, 1 earned run, and no earned runs. 2 earned runs in 3 games. That's fantastic pitching. That's how you win championships. As Webb pitched a full game, complete game, shut out. That's how you do it. Get physical with them. As we do look at scouting, it looks like another Duval is pretty good this year in the starting pitcher. Coming out of high school in Louisiana. 6'5", so definitely looks to be like a Randy Johnson type. See what he might be able to do. As we do finish up with Newell, looks like he is exactly what we thought he was. A third round talent. Hopefully he falls, or maybe somebody feels like picking him up early. As we do look for somebody to replace him. Because I don't know why we don't have a second round pick, but I don't know. I don't know how that MLB stuff works, but we don't. Taking a look at kind of positions, just wanted to get a general idea of how good some of them are out there. But then we kind of change, revert, and feel like going. Because what I think we really need as a team is a really good third baseman. Unfortunately, none of the ones that I scouted or prospected seem to be any good or worth that first round grade. Just a lot of second round talent. And it's hard when you got a top 5 pick and then the next pick is 80. You know, there's no in between. So we really have to nail the 5th pick. But we also got to nail the 80th pick, because that's our second pick. So you definitely want our first 2 draft picks to be guys that develop well in that farm system. You look at guys like Martinez, who looks to be a pretty good early pitcher. But a lot of guys we just don't have scouted yet, and we're running out of weeks. I think we pretty much know who our 5th pick's going to be, if he's still there. We're definitely trying to find round 3 or, playing C, D, and E for that first round pick, just in case all 5 of the guys we was thinking about going in order get picked, or 4 because we got a 5th pick. Martinez looks like another very good hitting prospect. So somehow he can find all the good high contact guys. Marcel Bates looks like he's a defensive juggernaut out there. Gotta look at Harry Bliss, but he doesn't look like he looks to be worth wasting another week on the catcher position. I think we can live another season with Bart and Patrick Bailey and maybe Gary Sanchez at the helm. Sam Gould looks to be another starting pitcher. Hopefully his overall is up more towards that 80 than the 46. But I think we're going to take a look at Claudio Silva, who looks like to be a really good, solid pitcher. On a 4-game winning streak. He is hitting the ball very well. But 4-game winning streak, we do take the L to finish out the series against the White Sox. But that's all we're looking for, guys. We're looking for one series. Every series that we win is a W in our book, and that's what leads to winning records. 9-4 is the law if you give up 14 runs. We had 10 hits. We just didn't bring the power today, driving in those runs. Rogers only gives up 3 earned runs. It was Castro and our relief pitcher Rogers that is giving too many runs, man. Like, relief pitching is definitely letting us down. So it's like we're getting leads up to the 6th, 7th innings, and we're just giving up the game, man. That's really what's keeping us from having a well above average record instead of being 1 game above 500. But we do get into the action versus Cincinnati Reds. Ellie De La Cruz seems to be a leadoff hitter, hitting .238. And Tyler Stevenson seems to be their best hitter, hitting .306. But definitely a team like us, kind of struggling on the year, hopefully trying to get a resurgence on the season, getting that playoff position. Great American Ballpark is always known for home runs, so hopefully we can get one big fly out of here for the gang, for the home team. As we do take a quick check on one of their star players. Definitely a guy who could be interesting if you got on our roster. Hitting .306. Definitely a guy like him. They do have Graham Ashcroft out the helm, pitching pretty horrible in the season, 551 with a whip of 151. Looks like he's just giving up a lot of hits on the season, 97. It's not gonna win you too many games. So hopefully we can get a few, rack them up. We do take a look at Grant McCray, spotlight him, having a really good season, showing more pop than I thought he would with the 6 home runs. 1-2 count. He does hit a soft liner right to the shortstop. Just need to get it up just a little bit more. But we do skip right to the bottom of the first. 0-0 game. Like to see his defense improve too, as his durability is getting up there too. Being an everyday starter, I think he can be that guy, and he would save us a good amount of money growing up in our farm system. But then maybe in the off season we can go for another big free agent, another power bat to maybe go with Eloy, as we're definitely missing that on the season. Haniger's got a good pop, but he doesn't have the contact. So I think we need somebody with a little higher contact and get around 270, 280. But that's just early on the season. We never know. Haniger isn't hitting too well, but back to McCray. 0-1 count. Guy on third. 1-0 game. Hoping to bring this run in. Nice cutter. 1-1 count. Definitely trying to pitch him low and inside. Definitely don't want him to get no pop fly. Not trying to throw the ball up, but that's exactly what we're waiting for. Gets a pitch outside. Looks like he's just scared to pitch him. So it's going to be a pretty easy walk opportunity. See what the pitch we get. Okay, nice, very nice cutter. Right in the bottom of the zone. He is showing a good patience. Not rushing anything. He just hit it straight to the first baseman. The runner doesn't advance, not hard enough, and just cold streak does continue, but man, definitely thought he can get a little harder contact on that. Tough outing on the day, but the team is picking him up. That still remains a 2-0 lead now, bottom of the third. Ross Strippin looks to be having another solid outing. Getting a nice pop fly right to McCray for the second out. Looking at our outfield projections as we see our team. Like I said earlier, McCray definitely looks like a guy who can be our center fielder along with Bader once he comes back from injury. Like we seem to be saying all season, Quan's definitely an excellent corner man. As we do try to go for the hit and run, and the swing opportunity does cancel that. Quan was on first. Nice solid contact. He does run it down and isn't able to get double play. But we are able to score on that last inning, getting us to his next at bat in the top 8th. Gets to walk in the 3-2 game, as it definitely is starting to become more of a nail biter. But he also isn't able to get a run in that situation as well, getting all the outs. 3-2 count. Aaron Bummer in the game. A deep fly does get the second out from a tough batter in Logan Tanner. Like I said, not the best game for McCray, but we definitely love to see what he's doing on the season. Having some pretty good defense out in center field. That's not an easy responsibility, and he's definitely handling it pretty well. Along with a solid bat, bringing some pop and driving in some runs. We do get a victory. Duvall gets the save as usual. Having that Duvall time. Ross Strippin does have a solid outing, bouncing back from a couple ones ago. Getting the victory for the squad. Definitely need those. Definitely got to get the gimme ones. The ones versus the sorry teams. As the Reds seem to be struggling on this year. Do still have some talent in their roster, but We just have the players right now that are just a little bit better. Wade did hit a home run and a double, bringing in a run. That's what we want to see. We want to see team effort. Not the fastest teams, so definitely got to provide that power. Can't be just Eloy and Haniger. Definitely got to be some other guys setting up, some other guys getting some steals, hopefully, as we get some more speed on deck. That's what we like with Craig as well in that position. DeScalafani is up for another start. See what he can do against Luke Weaver. Just had to check on some things real quick. You get the 3-0 win though versus DeScalafani versus Luke Weaver. That's what I'm talking about. Like DeScalafani getting in that starting spot, and that spot starter has been a great addition, it looks like, as we do lose 3-4. I don't know what it is, but we just cannot sweep teams. We just keep losing in the last games of every series. Harrison Bader is back from another injury, as he had 22 at-bats before he got injured. Isn't that wild? Fortunately, we do have to put McCray back on the bench, even though he's still having a pretty solid season, and Reyes does go back down to AAA. Ramos is also coming back, as the team is getting healthy. It is getting healthy. And I think with all our guys back and ready for action pretty soon, all of our teams can have a playoff run. All of our teams are really about around the same area, around 500 teams. And Reckley's a sneaky prospect, only 19 years old and already 68. Another guy who can be an infield stud. We just really need that first baseman to help the other guys that will be coming up in our prospects system at third base, shortstop, and second. We do get another victory versus Padres with 10 earned runs, tearing them up in the later innings. Stripling has another solid game. 5 innings, and the relief pitching is great. Not giving up any more earned runs after Strickland's outing. 2-0 as a man. It has just been a pitching dominance. We are not giving up runs. It doesn't matter how much we score, as long as we get one, it seems like we get the victory. Scalafani having another fantastic outing. 8 innings, no earned runs. We love to see it. 9-6. Stephen Kwan at the bottom. 7, 2 outs. Oh, who cares? He's always injured. As he does get injured against his former team in the Yankees. Once again, we lose the last game of the series. Seems to be a common theme. They do rout us a 12-3 victory. No hits from Quan leadoff, just makes it tough, and from Estrada in the middle of the lineup. Everyone else did get on. A couple RBIs from Flores. You know, he's that lefty masher. Webb did kind of struggle a little bit. Tough game, but we are overall got our head above water. Facing a similar team in a situation in the Astros, and you lose 2-4. We have faced Jaime Melendez, Ross Stripling, as he always has solid outings. Yeah, we know. Harrison Bader, you injured. Yeah. We do get the win, however, 4-2. 4 hits from Haniger in the average of 274. So that's what we'd love to see. Home run, 2 RBIs. Same with Wade as well. You just need that streak, man. You need that Giants legacy run. You know, all the championship teams recently have just went on runs, whether it be the playoffs or in the regular season. That's what we just need. Right now, we are still sitting outside the wild card, taking another look at the final week of scouting. Duvall does look to be a pretty good pick as starting pitcher. Definitely a solid guy. Same thing with De Silva. Looks like he's a top 10 pitcher as well. High strikeout stuff. Yeah, we have a lot of options with that top 5 pick. And hopefully we can find some other versatility behind it in 80th pick and in the later rounds. Thad Bench. What a name. What a name, Thad Bench. Like, bench, sit him down. Like, that is a heck of a name, especially for a relief pitcher. Rich Pinero's another guy we should take a look at. But it's alright. We pretty much have scouted at least our top 5. I mean, I've seen number 1, number 3 guy, number 5 guy, number 6, and all the way up in top 15, really. So I think we know who we're getting. Hopefully we don't miss that stud, as we're looking for generational talent every year. Just couldn't find a catcher. That definitely was a position we were looking for. Man. It's just instead of having highly rated ones, maybe we just need to expand our scouting a little more. But that's what we're starting to look at. Just didn't look like a par. We do take a look at Andre Heath to maybe see a last go at it. As we just looking to see if some guys can be some sleeper picks, some picks that maybe the rest of the league is not looking at. That's how you win a draft, man. When you're able to, get those guys that still pan out, even in the later draft. I mean, later innings, or not later innings, later rounds. Guys, the GMs, the executives that succeed are the ones who win in the 10th and 11th round and like the 8th and 9th rounds in real baseball. But we go to like 6, I think, in this one. So we do get into some action versus the Astros, as Stephen Kwan is able to get a leadoff hit, advance to second, get a walk from McCray to get some guys on, and Jimenez does get it started with the first run of the game. Hammer up strikes out, Wade up for 1-2, Pop up second out, and Chapman gets a crucial double to get 2 runs in, 3-0 against a pretty good pitcher in Christian Javier to get them out of the first. These Scalafani, like I said, having fantastic outings. Getting out of the first pretty much unscathed. 3 quick outs, gets them out of the second. Double from Castellanos, gets them on, but quickly shut down. As these Scalafani is just having too good of a season. Jimenez does get on one as they're afraid to get him after that single earlier. Hanger does strike out. Wade up to bat. Does get a single. Come on, Chapman, we believe in you. And he does strike out to end it. What happens when you have a guy who's a power guy, more like a Joey Gallo? As we do give up 2 runs to Altuve. Jeremy Pena. Kwan does get a walk. Strikeout from McCray. And Eloy is able to get out as well. Kane gets a little closer with a single and a walk. These Scalafani has seemed to tire out getting these Astros hitters out. But if you're looking to replace, especially after giving up another walk. You just don't know who to put in. That's what happens when all your relief pitchers are struggling. Castellanos up. Who do we put in? Guess we go with Luke Jackson. He does get the ground out to get us out of the inning. Walker single gets us on bases loaded. But Joey Bart, he does get out. Sack fly to at least extend the lead 4-2. Another walk. McCray gets out. Jeremy Pena. Another guy who's pretty much hitting off of 186. We know he's a defensive savant. We do get out. They do bring in Seth Martinez. Another walk. Double play gets him out there. Man, that's tough on us. Strikeout, fly out, another fly out, get us out of here. Hoping Jimenez can continue to pitch well, but we do get him out for Miguel Castro. See if he gets out of this eighth. A double is giving enough to Kyle Tucker and a strikeout. They bring in Blake Taylor. Strikeout, ground out, and we just went cold, man, after the sixth inning. Or really after the first. That was going to be a big run game for us, but it really wasn't. But it is Duvall time with a 2-run lead. Definitely want him to close it out for us. Ground out, and another out. That's how you do it. Too legit to quit. If you do get saved, I don't know how you got to play the game for one inning, but we'll take it. It would be kind of cool if the franchise mode added like roles to the show, like where guys get a little bit more XP when you playing with them and you do certain things with them. That'd be kind of cool. But anyways, that is a good game as we do get into July. Everybody except our major league team has a game on the 1st. Just had to keep double checking. Because I know I'm kind of special, man. Don't say nothing. Will Bednar going up against Jose Urquidy again, like he did earlier on in the season. We're going to jump into the action and look at this as well. Same thing here. Another leadoff hit given up. Stolen base for Martinez and a 2-run shot from Colton Welker. Let's go. Elia Ramos does line out afterwards. Same thing as Guzman gets a strikeout. Hassan Diaz is up to bat. Another out. We do get 2 runs early in the game for Bednar, who pitching well even though he is only 6-6. Man, that's tough. 2 walks given up, ground out for a second out. Can he get Aguilar out? And he does for another ground out. Same thing with Meade and Bishop out. Wisely does get a single. Definitely wanted to get that run in. Every run gets on base in my book is a run. We just need some more speed in this team. On all fronts, all sides. Do give up a single, we do get people out. For the second inning. Third inning is running just as smooth as well, getting everybody out. Out. The out train is continuing, but Hassan Diaz does get a double on that one. 1 out. Meade does bring him in on the very next at-bat. Hunter Bishop with Meade on first after the good run single. Can't get nobody else. And Bednar does get out pretty easily, only giving up that walk. Getting into the 5th. Strikeout from Patrick Bailey. As we look to see Julio Pablo Martinez having a pretty solid season. He gets on once again, and they double play as we try to go for the hit and run in that situation. Elia Ramos out, Guzman out, and Diaz gets on with another out. Bednar is showing how good he is carrying this game right now. 2.6 ERA at this point, giving up only a 3-hitter. Getting us out of the 6th inning. Chris Rodriguez comes in for them. That's looking for another run opportunity. And man, thankfully Bednar's pitching well because we are missing a lot of opportunities to bring guys in. I do not know what's going on with our roster. Definitely want to see some better action from them. Double play. Looks to be getting us out of that 7th inning, and a fly out does make it official. Ramos, hope he can get on. does get out. Guzman gets out as well. Solo shot. Oof. Start off the inning. Definitely is a very good sign to get a guy out. So we do get Bednar out in that situation. Look at that process again. We do bring Aaron Fletcher, a solid lefty. Hoping he can improve on that 4 ERA on the season and get us out for the next 2 innings, not in 10 innings, but not give up the next 2 runs, tie the game, get these 3 outs for us. Hoping he can clutch some at bats as well. And he does get the strikeout, ground out, gives up a double and a line out to get us out of the 8th. I said 9th, I'm at 8th. Messing up all my innings, guys. Chris Rodriguez does seem to pitch pretty well for him. Pitching a good, solid 4 or 5 innings, man. Definitely a good hit. And if we bring in our own Rodriguez to close us out, stolen base, and that is not it. As the flyout gets us out the game. Sacramento River Cats win a pretty good 1-3-1. Bednar, outstanding performance, pitching like he is MLB ready. As we continue upon this season, as we look at the River Cats record at 40-41, like I said, all of our teams seem to be right there at 500. Just need some guys to pick it up, play a little bit better. And need these coaches, man. We need to coach them up, man. Get this potential up. Get these guys playing better, playing Giants baseball, getting us some W's. 3-1, nice victory for our other minor league team, getting back to the majors. It is a 0-0 game. Ms. Henniker Jimenez does get injured in the game, but we do get the victory 2-0. Continuing that series, Logan Webb versus Sixto Sanchez. As Logan Webb does continue to pitch pretty well, only giving up a couple runs. Let's get into the action. 3-1 game with the Giants. We need to have the guy on 1-2. He ain't going for that slider. I don't know what my dude thought. 3-2 count now. Henniker coming up to the at bat. Definitely not looking to pitch the big boy Eloy. And he does walk him to load the bases. Let's get it, guys. I think you know what time it is. Henniker, let's get it. We do bring McCray in as the pinch runner to kind of make sure that we can get those extra runs in when it does matter, as he would be the game-winning run in case it's a gapper or a homer to walk us off. Not walk us off, but to get in the bottom of the 8th to give us a lead. Man, I keep thinking this is a 9th inning. I just want us to win, baby. Like Al Davis. 0-0, we do miss. We get us to the 0-1 count. You do see they're thinking about bringing in some relievers, Dylan Floro and Tanner Scott, a righty and a lefty. Definitely a good pitch to hit. Yeah, that fastball going way outside. Too far outside. Definitely look for the fastball. He seems to be throwing it a lot, and we do get a terrible pop-up that doesn't even get past the catcher. That was about the worst thing that could happen in that situation. We would at least want a deep pop-up to get a sac fly or something, man. Estrada will have to pick up Henniker's slack. Coming up, put 2 on the day with a walk. So definitely see if he can bounce back from the game he's having so far. As my man Soriano is really throwing that fastball. Definitely looking to tear it up, square it up, line it out, home run. He does change it up with the slider, wasn't expecting it, and we're definitely out in front. Definitely can't blame you, Roy. Throw 4 straight fastballs, what you expect. And he goes back to the slider. Y'all ain't see that. Definitely need some better swinging from Estrada. Get some nice soft contact on the slider. So we're starting to time it up. We're starting to see he wants to throw a little bit more. We're definitely cautious of that fastball. Oof. We get a lucky break, but looks like in the strike zone, 2-2 count. See if he can do something. Get a pretty good hit, but it is going to be straight to the center field. He just takes a couple steps to the right. Easy out. And as we do struggle in that inning, it is a little tough. Power sometimes isn't there. I have a lot of guys who are swing or miss, and that happens sometimes. Luke Jackson gets us out of the top of the ninth. We do get Floro in. Solo shot from Chapman does get it to 3-2. Strikeout from Wade. Ground out from Sanchez. And an out from Luciano ends it. We're not able to get that W, man. This will have a lot of inconsistency on the season. Definitely want a little bit more. We're going to win in the playoffs, because that's just a spell for disaster. Cabrera has a pretty good game against us. I really couldn't get no runs till after the sixth. Well, sixth and after. Rogers didn't have a bad game. Cabrera was just a little bit better on the game. Bader does hit a home run along with Chapman. Just couldn't collect it out towards the end. You look forward to that Brewer series as Ramos gets injured again 2 to 3 months with a foot injury. Jimenez comes back, so we do get some good news. Ross Stripling going up against a pretty good Freddie Peralta. We should be able to get the win, I believe, in my man Ross. He's been doing his thing on the season. 4-3 game as we're taking the L. We do come in bottom of the ninth. Four game, bottom of the ninth for my boy Joey Bart, who got out earlier. He got out walk, and Harrison Bader does hit it, bad hit, and he rounds third, and he gets just by corner with the good speed. Game winner, send them home. And that's how we end the episode, my dudes. We love to see it. If you guys like the content, feeling the vibes, go ahead and subscribe. And if you enjoy the content, man, just follow the playlist, man. Watch anything from the entirety. I'll put it up on the thing. Love to end with a good note. Wasn't the greatest swing, but we did what we had to do. Hit it right over the first baseman. That's all we needed. Anyways, guys, love doing this content, man. It's always so fun, man, as we look at some of the stats. But peace, love, blessings.